when we first created this collective, we really thought about what would have sense after what happened, after what some unbearable, like you mentioned, unbearable stuff happened in this country. So we really wanted to give a purpose to this, and not being a new entertaining group for doing happy moments, but so we decided to create a first performance that would be addressed to kids and to children. We found that it was our first necessity to speak to the youngest ones, and to create a performance that could tour all around Lebanon, that could fit in a car, and that could take in the same car performers and props and items and stuff, and tour and go and meet all the different faces of our country. So it is, of course, from all the fragmentation that we know in our society, that we know how divided Lebanon is. So we wanted to be the one going from one place to another and meet everybody. And it's funny to realize how stuff get mixed, because even in the play itself, we created the characters that were people moving as well from a city to another. And like this, during the tour, we added in the text of the performance, we added the cities and the villages that where we really went. So we were starting our performance saying, okay, we went to Nabati, to Srifa, to Hula, to Akkar, to Zahle, to mentioning all these different, very different cities and villages, and people were already like, oh, this is possible. And it's true that there is not much people of one area that goes to another. Maybe in Beirut we find a lot of people moving, but from the areas to other areas there is very few circulations between people. So it was funny as well already to start making the link like this, and people appreciate a performance that 2 days ago another community appreciated as well. And there is something particular maybe in the performing arts, that it's something happening live, and it's something based on human relation, based on something really sensible experience. So it's not an individual experience, it's something that is really collectively shared. So to start by saying that yesterday we were sharing the same beautiful experience with people that maybe you don't like, or in your imagination consider as the bad ones, is already something that was, I think, people enjoyed it as well, in fact, because we are saying it is possible. So materializing this movement and this link between these areas was a way for us to define an identity that is really independent and open to any kind of collaboration, and willing to collaborate, in fact, is a beautiful way to start linking people and structures, and telling people that we went to these Shia schools, or we went to these very Christian schools, or we went to these all the different kind of schools that we have in our country. Is something that for our partner and for our network create something else, because there is not much happening that is not business, that can relate all these kind of institutions and partners. And for us, we learned a lot by meeting all the kids from different areas, to see how the education is in in an area or in a city, or the differences that can happen from one area to another. And it's very interesting for us to try to build an expression, an artistic expression that can gather, that can really satisfy is not the word, but that can really convey, yes, convey, and offer a beautiful trip to any kind of audience. Because we are not here to give something that can be consumed, but maybe to create plays and performances where people are involved. And when we ask to their imagination to be working while we are performing. We're not giving everything finished and done, but because we use puppets, we use objects, and we leave an empty space. I like this expression that I heard a bit before, to the audience to make their work as well and to imagine something, and helping to develop and to increase the imagination of younger generation is part of a very important process for dignity and for culture and for any kind of identity. So we believe firmly that it's part of a peace building to keep teasing imagination of audience and bringing them to work with us and to share something with us. The particularity of our work as well is that we can work on how to host and welcome an audience, because we are working with human relation. When I am on stage, I'm in relation with you. I can meet your eyes, I can meet your reaction, and you are giving me stuff as well. You are giving me your feedback, even if it's not mental, or there is something, a shared breathing that is happening that makes human relation real at this moment. So it brought us from only creating performances to create some events in the city, and mainly in the public spaces.